everybody. Today the video is going to be a bit different. I'm going to be sanding this helmet and hopefully I can get it all done today. The sanding, I'm not sure about the painting. As you can see, real rough. And it's going to be maybe like my second time sanding something. So expect it to be, it's going to be fun. So joke is on me. It was not fun. I mean, it was definitely a learning curve because I don't know if I said before, but this is my first time actually sanding something. The last thing I sanded, I completely destroyed it, and I think it's because I was using a Dremel and I just went like full force. But in retrospect, I just have very rough hands. One time, just unscrewing a light bulb, I broke the light bulb in my hand. Don't know how. I just got hands, murderous hands. However, so basically the sand grit that I used for this, if I remember correctly, the top part, which would be the Trojan, and like the circular round part on the top head, which is right beneath the Trojan, I used roughly an 80 grit. And then for all the other pieces, I think I used like 180 around there. And I would go between those two. The 80 grit was more for like the really tense, not designs, but like where you could really see the layers and things like that. And that was used because I printed the helmet like on a 0.4, I think. So I had to use that for like the top part, because when you do like the oval shape, when you 3D print, you get that like circular thing on the top. And so that was a bit of, it was a bit time consuming. And then here I'm sanding down other pieces. As you can see, it was interesting, this whole sanding process. Not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's also not my favorite thing. And in case you guys are wondering, oh, why are you sanding manually? Is because I was still uncomfortable using like power tools. And yes, we do have like that round thing for sanding, the tool, but I didn't want to use it yet because deep down I have a fear of power tools. Like when I was a kid, I saw I don't remember what tool it was, but like my dad like split his like he didn't split his leg open, but it was an intense thing where like somewhere where between the knee and the ankle, something like had pierced his skin. And then, like, being good old dad, he was just like, "Do you want to see it?" And I saw it, and I was like, man, tools are dangerous. So deep down, I have a fear of tools. Not saying that's the reason, but sometimes I always think of that moment when I see a power tool. So maybe it is. But don't you worry. I think today is going to be the day I use a power tool. So, but yeah. I think that this mask was probably the hardest thing, I think, to sand, because where you have between the eyes, it was really hard to get to. And in retrospect, I probably should have used the Dremel, I think, for that spot. But like I said, you live and you learn, and this was like a whole completely, learning experience for me. So I'm excited for the next type of masks I'll be doing when I do this stuff. Alright, so I did some sanding, as you can see. I'm going to use some body filler, and we're going to, put the body filler on here, and I don't know what I'm doing. So let's hope. I hope to God. Let's hope this all works, cause I only got one helmet, and I don't have time to print another one for the event. So we'll see how this goes. So it says 2%. I'm just gonna like do some I don't know if you can see the camera. Let me see here. Put a little. Whoop. That sounds like 2%. Yeah, that's like I mean that's a little bit. We stir it up. Ooh, I broke this spoon. That's why it's so hard to use it. Okay. I'm terrified right now. Oh God, let's hope this works. You know what? I think if I do, hold on. I think a good way to see if this works is if I just take this, put a little bit here, and then I think it's a bad idea. I'm gonna use my hands and just freaking like push it in. That way I can make sure it goes into all the gaps. So that's my. In retrospect, I probably should have used this thing. This is actually coming out pretty good. Let me get this. So this probably would have been better, but you gotta Gotta get in the dirts of things. Woo, that's way better. That gets it all up in there. I don't know if Casey is that. You might have to zoom. Let me see. Woo. Lord Jesus Christ has answered my prayers. I think it's not coming out bad. Now my one worry is that, like, did I put enough hardener in there? Like, so how do you guys know when you have enough hardener in the thing? Like, how does that work? Is it? I don't know. Well, it's hardening already, so I think it's hardening. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I know after this use sand, so I mean that's a. I feel like I took a lot of risks, considering I only got one helmet. But you learn. You live and you learn. So. Don't think do I need a mask? I know when I sand I need a mask. Usually my husband's here to tell me when I'm doing something wild. He's like, you shouldn't be doing it like that. Right now, he's a bit preoccupied. So, I think that looks kind of rough. I don't think, ooh, is this how it's supposed to be? It's filling in the cracks. Maybe I went too rough. Let me. So here I am, realizing all the regrets I have in this process. Because I don't know what I'm doing. And as you can see, I was like, man, this is hard. I don't know what I'm doing. You can see from here how bad the body filler was. And you can see the gunks. Like, I don't even have my glasses on, and I can see it right now. And it was just like, I was like, man, I should really think things before I do things. But I only learn things through, brute force, trial and error. So it was definitely a learning curve, but I got to use a power tool. So I overcame one of my fears. But I don't know, God willing, whatever you want to say, the helmet got completed. And look at it. I give credit to my better half. He did all the painting, fixing all the work that I did. That was horrendous. And it came out pretty good. And this is technically his first time painting. The only thing he's painted before this, which I think is like a car bumper, which he just primed it and he painted it black. So this was, for someone's first time painting, it was really good. And then on top of that, I wanted to make sure everyone noticed like the magnets. Because to me, this is my favorite part of the helmet, is the ability of it being magnetized and you can break it down. Also, do mind, it was just me holding the camera while doing this. So it was a bit challenging to get this shot because I was just doing it by myself. Is when you can pull off the helmet because it's magnetized. And with where those magnets are, you can put a piece of foam there so it doesn't hurt your forehead if you have a big head. Which I'm not saying someone who wore this helmet had a big head. I'm just saying their head was larger than mine because I didn't need that foam. But yeah. Till the next time. Bye.